can paint today with the screen. So I just had the idea of, okay, so let's say we have like a prismatic ray, right? Cool. Well, what is it like when you take a ramp, or maybe multiple ramps, into the source of the staircase, and then use that as a modulation source? So let's see what happens. Cool. I like that. And then let's say if I wanted to then use an LFO to modulate the staircase. Okay, so we're getting some cool little patterns like that. Let me see if I can. There we go. Bam. So all I'm doing so far is just modulating a ramp, which is going into the staircase, which is then being used to modulate the frequency of the prismatic ray. But let's try the pedestal. You see how it creates like this ripple, you know, as it's going through? That's pretty much because it's being scrunched by that ramp. So why is this important? Well, why this is important, in a way, I think, with the ramps especially, is to better understand how to use them as a way to space your screen. This goes back to the depth of field thing I've been talking about. I'm going to keep talking about it because I feel like it's like a pretty important aspect, at least for me. I mean, everyone's different. I mean, everyone has their own thing. But for me, it has more to do with how to create a design that actually feels like a painting, looks like a painting, and moves like how your eyes would be manipulating you to see a painting. And what I mean by that is, like, think about all the times you look at art or you look at different things in your life and you may be in different mindsets or sick or whatever, you know, it really depends on what it is. And you can really just get different emotions at a different period of time for the same exact thing. I mean, this is why we are always into recurring concepts, but also themes. So we're going to go back to what I started, which was the ramps going the staircase. We're modulating it, so we're going to go back to the frequency. Not too pumped. We can go to the pedestal, which I don't know why that's doing that. Or maybe I have to... What? That can't be right. That's why I messed with the multiple. Always forget about that. So now, yeah, let's turn this down. Let's just get that nice and slow. What I'm actually going to do, instead of LFO right there, I'm actually going to first put that LFO into the bridge. And then I'm going to take the prismatic ray, actually, and go into the frequency modulation. So now we're starting to talk about real unique designs that you can develop. As you can see already, the spacing of that's really interesting. You got that little hook on the very end of that triangle. So next thing I want to do is I actually just want to take out from the staircase and go to the encoder. Awesome. Look at all that color right from that. And so we're going to actually take another ramp. So what I was using, this was the negative on top, positive on bottom ramp. And now I'm going to take, and that was horizontal. Now I'm going to take vertical, negative on the left, positive on the right, and go to the phase. Let's see if we can get it. No, nothing out of that. Let's try one of these prismatic rays. Maybe this one. No, I'm going to go back to the complete opposite of what we had before. But now to positive on top, negative on bottom. Bam! Now we're getting some cool stuff. Okay. I'm always a big proponent of lines like, you know, curved lines, and then using them as the barrier to the next step. Or when I say barrier, I should say like it's an overlay. I kind of like to use it like I'm doing right now. So if I just had it like this, oh, you can see the design, it's pretty cool. But once I kind of twist it and then play with the pedestal a little bit, yeah, you're getting some really interesting stuff. And like that. So actually what I want to do is take an LFO and go into the multiply. There is a sick design right there. It's a little fuzzy, I think that has to do more with I'm just overloading the multiply. So let me go fast to make sure it works. And again, maybe I'm incorrect of how I'm getting that fuzz, but that's been my experience. There we go. But I'm gonna actually change it to, let's get it. See, if I went super fast, you know, into more of like an LFO range, as in like, or I shouldn't say LFO range, it's all in LFO, what am I talking about exactly? Just more of a faster rate, you get that, but I'm more of a proponent with this type of design, yeah, something like that, and then I can moderate the CV, so it's like slowly jiggling, yeah, something like that. So now what I want to do is actually take that oscillator and go out. Beautiful colors. And now I want to, there goes my stackable, go out from this divided 1, and actually I'm going to also go into blue here. No, we're going to take, well, this will go into blue as in the staircase, divide by 1, and then the prismatic ray is going to go into red. Okay, cool. So next, I'm going to take another triple video, go to the multiply. And why I'm doing this is because I love the fact that I can scale it. That control alone is really important, at least to me, especially in performance. It gives you a much wider range, especially if, you know, the music's going all over the place or really fast. You have an ability to actually, you know, get to a range that's really nice really fast. Again, a lot of it also takes, you know, just getting used to knowing the ranges properly. But again, I just like the idea of being able to have the extra range, especially just to have it. I'd rather have it than not have it. You just never know. Always better be prepared. So now this is this other LFO modulating it. Let's see if I like it. Maybe a little slower. I almost want it to be, yeah. And then let's actually have it be really drastic. And we'll slow it down. So now what we're going to see is it slowly contort or twist in, and see how it's now right. So the one's doing that, and then the other LFO is bringing in the blue, as you can see right now. So this is a great example of how to layer, use LFOs as a way to create these cool dynamic layers, but also, more importantly, it's about the ramps being used as stable modulation points, which I view as a very essential thing, especially if you want to create complex patterns and spacing on the screen. You know, even in this case, you can see the fine line, but even just playing with the multiple, you blur that line, and I feel like that is pretty essential too. Because otherwise it looks very much like you just kind of cut and paste things. But again, it's me. It's like everyone has their own aesthetic. So who am I to judge or say anything on it? I'm just giving you examples of what I do. So, and even just playing with this, yeah, see, that's a really beautiful color set right there. Let's see if I can. This is in the middle. See that cool fold right there? That's really cool. So yeah, again, this is just one way of taking, so what we did, I should have recapped in the other video, that's my bad, I have to get better at that, is so we have one ramps going into the staircase, but then we're modulating it with an oscillator and then an LFO, okay? The output of that staircase, one of them is going to the encoder, one of them is, where's this one going? Is going to the pedestal of this prismatic ray, which is then going out to the encoder as well. So actually two different division aspects of, or division points of the staircase are going out to the encoder, divided by 1, divided by 4. And then from there, with this prismatic ray, we're using another ramp, which is the opposite of the one going in the staircase. So the one going in the staircase is negative up top. It's a horizontal ramp, negative up top, positive on bottom, and then the opposite of that, of positive on top, negative on bottom, is going to the frequency of this prismatic ray, but I'm also modulating the multiply with another LFO. So using the LFO in the staircase and the prismatic ray is allowing me to, one, have a stable movement going on, as you can see, this little bend, but then at the same time, you're allowing the color to slowly change. Granted, even from a couple minutes ago, I changed the patch, but I mean, you're not, with setups like this, you're not too many steps away. I try to design patches whenever, I mean, I think it's just very subconscious at this point. That there's multiple ways of exiting, but at the same time, like, just deal with the reality that you're going to get lost. And once you kind of deal with that reality sooner than later and just like, oh, it's inevitable, it's a little easier. Yeah, see, I feel like I'm messing this up right now. But, there we go. So, and that's just a twist of the staircase. Like, again, as I've mentioned in other videos, you can just get lost right away just by twisting the knob. You never know. But this is pretty cool design. I thought you guys might know or like to know. And yeah, thanks for watching.